Hello there and welcome in. I'm Mary Sue and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we're going to start off with the daily reading and then we'll go straight into day 26 of a 30-day challenge. So I hope you stick around for that part. All right, let's jump in and see what is on the horizon for you today. Courage and then visualization. Yes. There's something here about not only allowing yourself to visualize, right? That's a great tool. Visualizing what it is that you want to create, the world that you want to create. There's something here about having courage to taking the steps necessary to either move into that world, right? Or even just taking the very first step or taking a big risk and going, yeah, release past burdens and embrace new beginning. I think we actually had this card the other day, right? About allowing yourself to fly, to allowing yourself to no longer be in the cage of self-doubt, allowing yourself to have the courage to go forward. In fact, I think we have the courage card with that too. Let's see what we have here. Wow. Wow. Okay, so we have the devil card on the bottom, Capricorn energy. So this is the energy of understanding that you are attached, okay? Because this is about being attached to something that is holding you back from the success that you are really wanting, creating. The Empress energy, creating the life that you really and truly want. It's almost like you have maybe even allowed yourself to free yourself from the cage. And then at the same time, it's kind of like wanting to go back. In other words, I think for some of you, you may have taken a courageous step forward. And then all of a sudden, it's kind of like wanting to retreat. It's a little bit, they're showing me like, if you go to like a lake or the ocean or something like that, and you put your foot in to test the waters, right? And you put your foot in, it's cold, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I don't want to get in there. It's a little bit of understanding that there's something here that your fears are popping up, right? You're attached to something, and we're going to, let's go ahead and clarify that, because allowing yourself to detach from this fear is going to bring you this success, because you have the success here. Sacred Temple, Queen of Wands, right? Queen of Wands is one of my favorite cards because she's really confident. You know, she knows that she can create the world that she really and truly wants. Very much what I would call a junior empress. So there's this energy of understanding that you have the tools to create the life that you are really wanting. But it's kind of like you put your toe into that life to test the waters, and all of a sudden it's kind of like, oh, wait a minute. That's not what I was expecting. Yeah, because there's something here, you know, Two of Wands. Okay, I'm going to test. But then you put it in, and it's like you don't get the result that you are wanting. So let's say you decide, okay, I'm going to put my toe into the world of starting to date again, right? You go out on the first date and it doesn't go as well as you thought it would, right? You thought, oh, I'm totally ready for this. And then it just doesn't go well one way or another, right? Maybe it wasn't horrible, but it just wasn't, it just didn't, I wasn't jiving with it, right? There's this energy of understanding, okay, well, that's okay. Just because the first time you put your toe in the water, it doesn't go to success overnight, doesn't mean that it's not the right path for you. There's something about that. You know, have you ever noticed, like, if you put your foot in the water and then you take it out, right? And you're like, ooh, that was too cold. And then you put it back in, it feels warmer the second time. There's this energy of it just allowing yourself to say, okay, I have to get used to this new world. if you're launching a business and it's kind of like you put it out there and then you don't get the response that you're wanting, right? It's kind of like, oh, okay, well, wait a minute. Your fears, right? Your fears of this isn't going to work out because things in the past didn't work out, right? And then it's kind of like, okay, perhaps part of the reason why you have quit before. Understanding, well, wait a minute, maybe I just have to give it another try, or I have to give it more time, or I have to tweak what I'm putting out into the world, right? So let's see what we have here. Yeah, so there's something here about, you have the King of Wands and you have the Queen of Wands, okay? But there's something here about putting out what it is that you want and feeling as though it's not taking off. Here's the key in order to find the success that you're wanting, okay? Because the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands are in reverse. It's kind of like, okay, I'm putting them out there, but then, oh, they don't turn out the way that I want them to. There's something here about learning about what it is that you really and truly want, right? And then sharing it. There's an element of love that needs to be added, okay? It's kind of like you have a great idea, you're speaking your truth, you're really excited about it, okay? But it's almost like, I feel like you're trying to oversell it, right? It's kind of like allowing yourself to love the idea as much as, there's something here about really loving the idea and really be in your heart space when you're doing this. It's so funny, and I know I have told this story before, but we had this neighbor, I mean, this is like 100 years ago. We had this neighbor, and she was really good at baking cookies, okay? And one of the things is that people said, yeah, she had not only like a great recipe, right? And she was a good cook, okay? But one of the things is that she really put a lot of love into her baked goods. So it's kind of like, because people would say, oh, give me your recipe. And they would use the same recipe, but they could never get the same results. And one of the things that we realized, right, because everybody loved her baked goods, was that she put a little extra love in it, you know, and she said, it's the way you stir the batter, right? She was like, when you're stirring the batter, it kind of reminds me of what I think it's called The Waitress, right? You know, it's kind of that energy of understanding that it's the love that the way that you're stirring the dough, right? You can have the same ingredients as everybody else. Here's the thing that's going to put you different from the crowd, is that you have the love. So don't allow yourself to feel like, well, I have to do it like other people, right? I'm going to use the same formula, the same recipe as everybody else, because it's your own way of stirring the batter, okay? The way that you're showing up, your loving light, that is different than everybody else's. Yeah, it's almost like you're having a breakthrough here. Yeah, and look at this. And really and truly believing in yourself. There's something here about understanding that you really, I feel like you're so concerned about not being successful, okay, in whatever this is, that you're really and truly, you could have bought a lot of books or an online course or whatever, whether it's dating, putting out your own business, creating a new life for yourself, a new you know, makeover, whatever it is. It's kind of like, okay, I got to follow this plan. I got to follow this plan. I got to follow this plan, right? And I'm not saying that is not a bad plan. The key here, okay, is understanding that what puts you apart from the rest of the crowd is your charisma. It is your confidence, right? The Queen of Wands has a lot of confidence, very charismatic. She walks into the room and everybody wants to talk to her. Understanding that it's your special sauce that is really going to create your success. So don't just follow the same recipe as everybody else. Allow yourself to step into creating something that is special, that is based on you, your authenticity. Yeah. Beautiful energy here. All right, let's pull a soul truth card for you for some funnel advice. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. Okay, does my life have room for more pleasure and play? Well, you know, I do have to say that this is about pleasure and play, right? If you're only working super hard, not dismissing hard work, right? But you're going to drain your own energy, right? You're not going to fill up your own cup. This is something about filling up your own cup so that you can show up authentically. There is something to that. You know, if you're tired, you know, I'll even go back to like when I was a teacher. And if I was tired, right? I had been working too hard, or I had things going on in my personal life. I might come in and I'm teaching my lessons and I'm getting the job done, right? But if I'm well rested and I have been replenishing my own energy by spending time in nature and getting good sleep and eating properly and drinking my water and doing activities that bring me joy outside of school, then I show up with a little bit of a different energy, right? I'm more open. I'm more charismatic. I'm more inner relating with the children. So it's that type of energy of understanding that taking good care of yourself is part of your special sauce, because it helps you to show up more than just, okay, I'm just churning out the work, right? Yeah, because this says, in what area are you lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in certain relationships or with your work. Is it possible to shift the seriousness of life to experiencing a more creative, wild, and playful side of you? Yeah, even in your work, are you enjoying your work? And if you're not enjoying your work, asking yourself, why am I not? What do I have to change? Is my work in alignment with what my heart truly desires? Or am I just following the plan, right? Yeah. Because you have professional assistants on the bottom. I think for some of you, it is this energy of feeling like, here's a plan. I have to follow this plan and then everything will be okay. But understanding that part of it is learning what makes you special, and also replenishing your own energy, because you are going to be successful. It's almost like Spirit is coming in and saying, listen, before the success really takes off, you need to also learn how to replenish your own energy, right? Because if you can't, then you're only going to become, the same as everybody else. There's nothing special about you. This is you understanding, no, there is something special about me. And I have to take good care of myself and enjoy what I'm doing, because otherwise I'm not shining my light as brightly as possible. You see the Queen of Wands, she's shining her light right there. I will have to say, I can see that as a teacher, right? That when I could go into the classroom and I was well rested and had spent time, doing things outside of school that I really enjoyed. It's kind of like you come in with a totally different energy. And when you come in with that different energy, people are able to hear what you had to say. And it just opens up the energy. So they can receive it in a much better way, in a deeper way. And it builds that connection to you. That is what you are looking for. All right, I'm going to leave it there. If you're leaving me now, I hope you have a great day, but I hope you'll stay around for the 30-day challenge. All right, bye for now if you're leaving. All right, welcome into the 30-day challenge part. This is actually day 26. So the theme for today is having the courage, right, to really go after what it is that your heart truly desires. And it is about embracing the energy of adding your own special sauce, right? That is it. It's kind of like you have to be able to allow yourself. The Queen of Wands is very independent. She doesn't care what other people think of her, you know? She's the person that wears what she wants to wear. She does what she wants to do. She's not hurting anybody else. She's just kind of like, yeah, I know who I am and I'm living my life in that independent way, right? And you got to love that. You got to respect that. So the journal activity today, I think, is about doing that deep dive. What is your special sauce? You know, what if you make cookies or whatever it is that you're working on or trying to create in your life. I feel like you're pushing up against a wall, asking yourself, okay, so what am I showing up with my most loving self in this, right? Am I well rested? Am I spending time in nature? Am I having fun outside of whatever this scenario is for you? Whether it's a business you're trying to launch, a career you're trying to grow, a relationship that you're wanting to bring in, it's kind of like understanding the first step is really to allow yourself to really enjoy your own self, to have confidence in who you are, to step into saying, yes, I don't want to just run myself ragged. I do want to enjoy my life. And having the courage to carve out that time for yourself. I feel like for some of you, you may be having to heal that energy of, having to do for other people all the time, or feeling like you have to be productive all the time. This is a little bit, the Queen of Wands knows it takes time to take good care of herself, right? And that has to be that has to be prioritized in her schedule, not, doing those things once everything else gets done, right? It's kind of like, are you getting everything else done and then taking good care of yourself? Or are you saying, no, this is really important to me, so I'm putting this into my schedule first, right? And then I'll work on all of this other stuff. And I'm not saying that your day has to be filled with this, right? But understanding, okay, I am prioritizing this. This is important, because if you don't allow yourself to replenish yourself, if you're not in your highest energy, because Queen of Wands has the most energy out of all the queens, right? If you don't have that sense of energy, if you're not refueling yourself with good food, good sleep, water, nature, activities that you enjoy, being around friends or whatever it is, it's kind of like understanding it doesn't matter what this is, because this is going to fizzle out if your secret sauce isn't available. Yes. So I think the journal activity is really about taking a look at what is your special sauce. What does set you apart from other people? Not trying to fit in with other people and use the same recipe. I'm not saying that you can't use a similar recipe if that's part of it, right, for you. But it's kind of like, okay, what sets me apart from the crowd? But then also understanding how much time and energy do I need to put towards replenishing my own energy so that I have the energy, right, to carry this out. Really a beautiful message there. And I think it's so important, because as you move forward, you're going to have more success. That is definitely here. You are manifesting success as you move forward, understanding that this is a big top priority. It's almost like Spirit is holding you back from the success that you are wanting until you learn how to balance this, that you learn how to prioritize yourself and replenishing your own energy. Yeah, it's almost like they're protecting you in a way. All right, I am going to leave it there. I will see you tomorrow. I know we only have like 4 more days, so I hope you have a wonderful day. Much love and light, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.